Hi friends, welcome to Eat Nutritious. We all know about the importance of nutrients for our body to lead a healthy life. Suppose if we ask 10 people what the healthiest diet in the world is, you will get 10 different answers. But how many of you know that your health would come from the optimization of your genetic function? Epigenetic research describes as you are what you eat. Not only does what we eat affect us down to the level of our genes or our physique have been sculpted in part by the food our parents and grandparents ate generations ago. Let us see how. Something about genes and DNA. A gene is the basic physical and fundamental unit of heredity. Genes are made up of DNA. DNA had a lot of chemical information, but your genes take up only 2% of it. The rest of the sequence, the other 98%, is what your scientists used to call junk. Not only that they thought this remaining DNA was useless, they just did not know what it is for. But in the last 2 decades, scientists have discovered that this material has some amazing abilities. This line of discovery emerges from a branch of genetics called epigenetics. Epigenetic researchers investigate how genes get turned on or off. This is how the body modulates genes in response to the environment, and it is how two twins with identical DNA can develop different traits. In a sense, our lifestyle teaches our genes how to behave. In choosing between healthy or unhealthy foods and habits, we are programming out genes for either good or bad conduct. Scientists are identifying numerous techniques by which two sets of identical DNA can be coerced into functioning dissimilarly. So far, the processes identified include bookmarking, imprinting, gene silencing, X chromosome inactivation, position effect, reprogramming, transcription, maternal effects, histone modification, and paramutation. Many of these epigenetic regulatory processes involve tagging sections of DNA with markers that govern how often a gene uncoils and unzips. Once exposed, a gene is receptive to enzymes that translate it into proteins. If unexposed, it remains dormant, and protein it codes for does not get expressed. How your diet can change your genes work. In the old model of genetic medicine, diseases were believed to arise from permanent damage to DNA called mutations, portion of genetic code where crucial data has been distorted by a biological typo. Mutations were thought to develop from mistakes DNA makes while generating copies of itself, and therefore the health of your genes was dependent on random. Mutations were for many decades presumed to be the root cause of everything from knock knees to high blood pressure and depression. This model of inheritance is the reason doctors tell people with family histories of cancer, diabetes, and so on that they have inherited genetic time bombs ready to go off at any moment. Epigenetic research studies show how our genes react to our behavior, and they have found that just about everything we eat, think, breathe, or do can directly or indirectly trickle down to the touch the gene and affect its performance in some way. These effects are carried forward into the next generation where they can be magnified. The body of evidence compiled by thousands of epigenetic researchers working all over the world suggests that the majority of people's medical problems do not come from inherited mutations as previously thought, but random from harmful environmental factors that force good genes to behave badly by switching them on and off at the wrong time. And so genes that were once healthy can at any point in our life start acting sick. The environmental factors controlling how well our genes are working will vary from minute to minute, and each one your cells react differently. So you can imagine how complex the system is. The concept of gene health is simple. Genes work fine until disturbed. External forces that disturb the normal flow of genetic function can be broken into two broad categories: toxins and nutrient imbalances. Toxins are harmful compounds we may eat, drink, or breathe into our bodies or even manufacture internally when we experience undue stress. Nutrient imbalances are usually due to deficiencies, missing vitamins, minerals, fatty acids, or other raw materials required to run our cells. You may not have control over the quality of the air you breathe or able to quit your job in order to reduce stress, but you do have control over what may be the most powerful class of gene regulating factors, that is food. Why we need to eat nutritious? Today we are raised to think of food as a kind of enriched fuel, a source of calories and a carrier for vitamins which help prevent disease. In contrast, ancient peoples understood food to be a holy thing and eating was a sanctified act. Epigenetics prove that our genes make their day-to-day decisions based on chemical information they receive from the food we eat, information encoded in our food and carried from that food item's original source, a microenvironment of land or sea. In that sense, food is less like a fuel and more like a language conveying information from outside the world. Getting sick is not random. We get sick because our genes did not get what they are expecting one too many times. Most importantly, I have learned that food came from unruly genetic behavior far more reliably than biotechnology. By simply replenishing your body with the nourishment that facilitates optimal gene expression, it's possible to eliminate genetic malfunction and with it pretty much all known diseases, no matter what kind of genes you were born with. I know eating right can help reprogram them, immunizing against cancer, premature aging, and dementia, enabling you to control your metabolism, your moods, your weight, and much, much more. And if you start planning early enough and your genetic momentum is strong enough, you can give your children a shot at reaching for the stars. Please refer below evidence supporting the idea that a good diet can help prevent epigenetic mistakes that lead to permanent mutation. But can diet fix past mistakes that lead to permanent mutation? But can diet fix previous mistakes before they rise to the level of mutation? In other words, can good nutrition enable your genes to return to an earlier, more adaptive strategy, thus averting the possibility that this strategy may be added to the permanent genetic record in the form of a mutation? A 2010 study looking into how poor maternal nutrition and obesity affects subsequent generations concluded. Poor in utero nutrition may be a major contributor to the current cycle of obesity. The article shows that children born to overweight mother are epigenetically programmed to build adipose tissue in unhealthy amounts. This suggests that millions of malnutrition moms are undiscovered to them, programming their children for a lifetime of being overweight, and that this predisposition for putting on the pounds can be passed down to that child's children as well. Did one mom without access to proper nutrition doom all the subsequent generations to be overweight? Here is where the good news comes in. As much as bad nutrition can lead to undesirable traits, good nutrition can compel the epigenetic adaptation system to reprise an earlier strategy appropriate for a more optimal nutrition environment. I will explain another scenario. What exactly happened with the human gene for making vitamin C? After generations of non-use due to abundance of vitamin C in our food, the gene would have grown very sleepy. Eventually, when epigenetic test marking had demonstrated that we could live without being able to make our vitamin C, a mutation within the gene permanently deactivated it. Certain markers increase the error rate during reproduction, and thus a temporary epigenetic change can set up the gene to be permanently altered by a base pair mutation. Genes are like tiny protein producing machines that create different products. If a factory worker think epigenetic tagging shuts off one machine and everything in the cell continues to run smoothly over the ensuing generations, then that the particular machine gene can be refashioned to produce something else or turned off altogether. What helps regulate all these cellular events? Food mostly. After all, food is the primary way we interact with our environment. But here is what's really remarkable. Those tags that get placed on the genes to control how they work and help drive the course of evolution are made out of simple nutrients like minerals, vitamins, and fatty acids are more influenced by the presence of those nutrients. In other words, there is essentially no middleman between the food you eat and what your genes are being told to do, enacting changes that can ultimately become permanent and inheritable. If food can alter genetic information in the space of a single generation, then this powerful and immediate relationship between diet and DNA should place nutritional shifts at center stage in the continuing drama of human evolution. Thanks for watching. Keep watching the channel for more videos. Please like, share, comment and subscribe the channel for more updates.